Hello and welcome to the Allett lawn in Cheshire in England. My name's Austin Jarrett and I'm here to talk today about the Allett Cambridge 43. The Cambridge 43 is a 17-inch or 43 centimetre cylinder mower. It's electrically powered by a battery. The battery is removable from inside. This battery is a 40 volt 4 amp hour battery, and this mower will mow approximately 400 square meters in one discharge. The machine weighs 41.5 kilograms, that's 91 pounds. This Greenworks battery has 144 watt hours of energy, and in such a small and compact battery, that's really quite amazing. We've been using the Greenworks system for 8 years now, and it's really proven to be a very reliable system altogether. What does battery offer? Well, battery is about, if you're going to buy a corded machine, the cord is always such a pain to drag around the lawn and to take around leaves, as well as just setting up to connect your mower to the cord. So this gives you complete freedom around the lawn. It also means when we compare it to petrol engine machines, especially, that we haven't got any petrol in our garage, and all the problems that go with that. And it also delivers much lower noise levels, which means in an area like this where I've got houses all around my lawn, I can maybe mow a little bit earlier or a little bit later into the evening. Of course, it's clean, there's no emissions at source, I'm not exposing myself to particulate matter, and that whole emissions free. I buy my electricity from renewable sources, and I like to think that I'm mowing with sunshine, which is a really great feeling. There's no recoil start either, and for those of us that find that difficult to get an engine started, then this is just push button and go. The mower mows a range from its very lowest down at 6 millimeters up to 32 millimeters high, and that the cylinder mowers, of course, mow short grass shorter. So this mower is really meant for the lawn enthusiast or for people that really want to take their lawn to the next level. The other thing I can do with this battery, which is a really nice thing, is I can put this battery into blower or a chainsaw from Greenworks, a strimmer, all the things that help keep my garden tidy. And I've already bought what is quite an expensive battery, which I can now use in lots of other products. And I think that's a really good thing, to use the lithium ion, which, let's face it, is the elephant in the room. I can use a minimum amount of lithium ion, and I can use it in lots of different products. The battery recharges in about an hour and a half, and I can mow for about 30 minutes to 40 minutes in one complete discharge. So let's talk through the mower, and I'm going to start at the front. First, we have the really nice Allett grass box. This is now with our developments are all around keeping this much lighter to make this easier to carry and empty. The design is through a steel framework and then material with apertures in. And these apertures not only keep the grass box lighter, but what they also do is allow air to flow through the grass box. So the cylinder cuts the grass and then blows the grass clippings into the grass box, and we need the air to escape quickly rather than blow back out, carrying grass clippings with it, and the grass clippings stay in the grass box, which means that we just collect more grass clippings and we get less grass clippings all over the mower. For emptying in particular, there are no lips inside the grass box now, so when I come to empty this, the grass clippings just discharge straight away into my wheelie bin. Next is the front roller. The front roller is steel, it's galvanized to prevent corrosion, and it sits in ball bearings as well, so that gives little resistance to make sure that we get longer battery life. And the roller is a really important part of the striping which Allett cylinder mowers are known so well for. The front roller's real main purpose, of course, is about height of cut. So I can move the position up and down of the front roller, and that will change my height of cut and change it really accurately. And with it being full width, it means I'm much less likely to scalp. To adjust the height of cut, I have a knob at the back here, and by turning this and lifting the front roller, then that lowers the bottom blade, which is my cutting point and therefore my cutting height. And again, if I turn it the other direction, the roller now goes down and that raises my height of cut. So it's really easy. What we have now in the window just here is actually a millimetre accurate gauge. So by looking at that, I can adjust this very accurately to the arrow, and that will give me 20 millimetres height of cut without having to get any measuring tools out to be able to measure the position of the bottom blade against the rear and the front roller. So that makes that really easy and a really nice visual. Just behind the rear roller, we have a comb. We call that the lawn comb, and the comb is a series of rakes, a series of tines, which now rake the grass just behind the front roller, and that has two main purposes. The grass weeds that are growing flat in the lawn, those normally duck underneath the bottom blade, and what we're able to do is by combing them upright, I can cut them more cleanly so they're less likely to spread, and it makes them less competitive. The environment we're always trying to create is to make the grasses that we want to grow thrive, and the grasses that we don't want to grow have a harder time, and that really contributes to that. The second reason for the lawn comb is that by combing all the grass into the same direction that we want it to go, that it increases the contrast of the stripe. So the more the grass is laid down all in a line, by either going towards you or away from you, will make the grass appear darker or even lighter. And we really want those stripes to pop. That is one of the main reasons that we're using an Allett cylinder mower. That rake is fully adjustable, so I can adjust it right down or right up. Obviously, the lower I have the rake, the more resistance that creates, then the less long the battery will last for an entire mow. But set that at a height that you're comfortable with, that gives you good results, and you'll get that stronger striping, and you'll clip those weed grasses even tighter. Next, we're going to move on to the real business end of the cylinder. The cylinder is in a cartridge system, which again Allett are very well known for, and we're going to talk about the different cartridges in a little while, about why cylinder mowing gives you a great lawn, but you need to do more things in order to make that lawn even better and healthier throughout the season. The Cambridge 43 obviously has a cutting width of 43 centimetres or 17 inches, and it comes with a 6-bladed cylinder. The blades are actually a special mixture to make the steel really strong and really hard, especially after we've heat treated each of these blades. That means the blades are long lasting and stay sharper for longer. With the 6-bladed cylinder on this machine, then we are achieving 78 clips per metre. So every blade is coming 70 odd times per metre, and that gives us a really nice cut at 20 millimetres or more. And 20 millimetres, 3/4 of an inch, is quite a low cut lawn. We do have a 10-bladed cylinder option just over here, so if we're mowing lower than 20 millimetres, that clip rate is not sufficient, and by using the 10-bladed cylinder we then get 130 clips per every metre, and when we're mowing lower that becomes more important so that you don't see where the clips are or get that washboarding effect, as we call it. The cylinder is really easily set on our machines, and just by using a screwdriver at 2 points here allows me to adjust the cylinder really accurately down to the bottom blade. I ideally want to have zero contact, but really close to the bottom blade so that I'm getting low noise, low power consumption and a really clean cut. One thing that's especially important about our cartridge system is that you can make these adjustments to the cylinder depending on the types of grass that you're cutting or the cutting conditions generally, and you can just get your screwdriver and make those adjustments. And some of our competitors do check this out before you make a decision. You actually have to remove the cartridge before you can make those adjustments. We think this is so important to get easy access to cylinder blade adjustment. Before you mow, you will tip the mower back, and then you can see quite easily the bottom blade and the cylinder blades, and we can just use a paper test just to check that we're getting a nice clean cut before we go mowing. Of course, the main advantage of cylinder mowing is that you're getting this really clean cut, the cutting action like scissors rather than like a machete that you're getting from your rotary mower. And that means that plant health, which is really important, is taken care of by making sure that the injury to each individual blade of grass is kept to an absolute minimum to prevent the disease from entering and also to avoid the plant losing more moisture. We've already talked briefly about the battery, and we've been using this powerhead system and also the Greenworks battery for 8 years now. We really like it. It's a really reliable system. This now powers the cylinder and the rear roller drive, and there's also a safety key here, so when I put this machine away in the garage I can take this key out and the machine is immobilized even if you've left the battery in, so that the kids aren't going to get into any trouble unless they can find this key. These batteries carry a 2-year Greenworks warranty, and when of course we're mowing, it takes less power. A cylinder is very efficient at cutting, and this mower will mow 400 meters pretty much without any trouble. It does depend on the length of the grass and how soft or wet the grass is. But when we're scarifying, you just need to bear in mind that this will probably mow about half scarify about half of the area, and that's because the scarifier takes more power than the cylinder does. So you may decide to have a cup of tea while the battery charges up, which takes about an hour and a half, or you can choose to go for a second battery, have one on charge and one being used in the mower, and that way you can pretty much achieve perpetual mowing by having the two 4 amp hour batteries. One question that we're asked constantly about the batteries is how long will the battery last? And a battery lasts, the measure that we give to the batteries is that after about 1800 discharges, this battery will hold about 85% of the charge as it did when it was brand new. So if you never actually discharge the battery fully when you're mowing your lawn, you might not even notice that that happens if you just put it on charge every time after you've finished mowing. But if you work out how often you mow your lawn in a year and how long 1800 discharges will last you, then I think you'll get a really good understanding that this battery is going to last you a long while. The Cambridge 43 is a self-propelled mower, and what that means is that by engaging the rear bail bar, the electric motor drives the rear roller. The rear roller again is a really critical Allett feature, and this machine, if I can tip it up like this, I don't have to worry about any spillage of any petrol. I've got a rear roller here which is 17 inches wide as well, and this of course is absolutely key for getting those killer stripes. It rolls the grass down in the direction which either gives you a light green or a dark green stripe. The thing about a rear roller like this is that if this were a solid 17-inch wide roller and the conditions were wet, when I'm turning around at the ends of my runs, that roller would really start to scuff when I turned. So what Allett do is we have designed and manufactured a rear roller which is smooth, so that causes less damage and less agitation to the surface, and it's got a full differential system inside. Some of the lower cost manufacturers just use a ratchet drive, which doesn't give you a true differential. And that true differential means that when you turn, there's just so much less scuffing. The other advantage the differential gives is for that really vital straight lining. So I'm able to adjust very easily my direction as I'm going down my straight run without the rear roller disturbing my straight line. Let's talk about the handlebars. At Allett, we always pay particular attention to this area of the machine. After all, it's the interface between the mower and the operator. So this is about ease of use, safe use, and also comfort. The handlebars fold up for transport. Just by moving the eccentric lever, I can fold the handlebars up for storage. It takes a smaller footprint in your storage area, or will go under a shelf to take up less space. The position of this machine now, when I'm standing here, is I can actually see the cylinder. So that really helps me in terms of lining up and my overlap of my previous run, because I can see actually where the blades are. The operation of the machine is simpler than ever before. First of all, from a safety point of view, I cannot engage the blades without taking two actions. So I can't just accidentally engage the blade drive. I have to press the button at the side and then I can pull the lever. I don't have to continue to hold that button. Now I can mow and I can keep this lever engaged, and it's nice and comfortable up against the handlebar. I can adjust the speed as well that the motor is running, and I have a 6-position adjustment just close by here so that I can change the speed. If I'm in a big, large open space, I'll probably use speed 6 so I can get the job done quickly, but I can also switch down to 1 if I want to walk slower, or perhaps I'm in an area where I've got a lot of obstacles and I just need to slow down. It doesn't make any difference what speed I'm at. The clip rate, 78 clips per meter with the 6-bladed cylinder, is maintained no matter which speed you choose to go at, so you get consistent mowing. The rear roller drive is on the rear bail bar. So I engage the motor drive, and then by engaging the rear bail bar, then I'm driving. And finally, again, talking about safety, the bail bars all fail to safe. So 2-stage engagement to drive, and then if I get into any trouble at all, if I release the controls on this handlebar, then everything fails to safe and the motor cuts out. So if I engage 2-stage and drive, if I release, everything fails to safe. So if it's the first time you're using the machine, please use it with confidence, knowing that you can just release everything and the machine will stop. All cylinder mowers are designed to cut short grass shorter. It's about mowing really regularly to get really excellent results on your lawn. By mowing low and by mowing regularly, your lawn will thicken up in a matter of weeks if you've been a rotary mower user. But one of the disadvantages is they're not so good at mowing long grass shorter, and that's not what they're designed to do. But what we do with the Cambridge is we include a pair of side wheel kits, and these wheels here can replace the roller, so I can remove the roller using a 13mm wrench, and then what I can do is put in place these wheels like so. And what that does is then leave this throat open, because the reason why it doesn't cut the long grass very well is the long grass will lay down and then go underneath the bottom blade and won't get cut. And by leaving the grass unrolled before it goes into the cylinder, it will cut much more cleanly. This will always be a get out of jail card because the cylinder mower isn't meant to be mowing long grass, and if you leave mowing your grass that long, then this probably wouldn't be the right mower for you. So if you want a great lawn, cylinder mowing is definitely a way to help thicken up the lawn, always make it look great, and of course get the stripes that you really desire. But cylinder mowing in itself is not going to give you that next level lawn. And what Allett mowers offer you in this Cambridge system is a rapid change cartridge system. The rapid change system is quicker than it's been on this series before, and I'm going to show you why that is. So we don't need to remove the side guard anymore, and all we need to do is to remove the 2 screws at the side. I'm going to do that now. And by just removing these 2 screws, that is enough now to release the cartridge. So now I can take that cartridge out, and critically what we have now is a window here where the gear drive, which engages with the drive system of the mower, allows that to pop in there, and we have a guard that's built into the grass box hanging system. So by taking that out, I'm now able to fit a whole range of cartridges. So once this rapid change cartridge is out, I can take that and I can go and get it sharpened at my local garden machinery store. But the really big advantage of this is that I am now able to insert other cartridges that's going to make my grass absolutely amazing. And the first cartridge I want to show you is the Scarifier cartridge. This is a springtime cartridge, they're really close together, and if you've ever raked a lawn, you know how hard that work is. This just makes it so easy. Not only do I scratch at any depth that I want, and I get the brown thatch layer that is using up all my nutrients and stopping the water going down and preventing my roots from going deeper, I can scratch it all out, and I collect at the same time, so I haven't got to do a collection job as well, and it throws it all into the grass box. So I'm just going to drop this cartridge in right now so you can see that. And I just love this rapid change, not having to take this side guard off, and the machine being so safe at the same time. This is why you want an Allett mower, because we have found that if it is really easy and quick, or should I say rapid, to change this cartridge over, what it means is you are much more likely to put these cartridges in and do the essential work that makes such a difference to your lawn. So here's my Scarifier cartridge in. I was mowing at 20 millimeters high, so what I now need to do is to adjust the height of cut so it's down really low, and that will engage these spring tines into the grass. And just watch what this does. So all this brown material now that's coming out of the grass, of course, will make the grass look greener, but I need to get this dead material out of the bottom of the grass sward to make my lawn much more healthy. I have a whole range of other cartridges too, which all have their own purpose in making this great lawn. So the Scarifier cartridge with the spring tines is absolutely my favourite cartridge, because not only does it do the scarifying, but there's nothing like it for picking debris up off the lawn as well and putting that into the grass box, whether it be difficult things like pine needles or pine cones. I need to get that material off the lawn, and I need to, especially where the lawn doesn't grow very well underneath the trees, if I can pick up that material all the time, my lawn will start to thrive. So this is the alternative cartridges as well. This is a 6-bladed cartridge that we've just pulled out of the mower in order to put the Scarifier cartridge in. Next, this is the Verticut cartridge. The Verticut is a steel blade, a whole series of steel blades closely spaced together, and what they do is they put a cut into the ground. This cuts rhizomes, stolons, straightens the grass up ready for great striping, and the weed grasses in particular, those horizontal growing leaves, it's chopping those all up. And it's said that verticutting is really one of the main tools against keeping weed grasses under control and uncompetitive in your lawn, and making the grasses that you want to grow, that grow vertically, really give them a competitive advantage. If you're going to be mowing at 20 millimeters or above, which is a really nice healthy lawn, then the 6-bladed cartridge, which comes as standard with the Cambridge, is absolutely the cartridge you should have. If you have desires to be going more to golf green type heights, then this is the cartridge you want. This is a 10-bladed cartridge, and all of these extra clips that we get when we're mowing lower are absolutely critical to give us a really smooth finish. So that's the 10-bladed cartridge. Next, if you want to get more aggressive in springtime or in autumn time when we're putting the lawn to bed, then this dethatcher cartridge, the blades are much more spaced together. They're steel, they're hook shaped, really aggressive. I get extra depth, and this will actually remove plants and give the other plants space to go. It's really nice for overseeding if I use this in 2 or 3 different directions, and then the seed stands a chance of getting some soil contact which it needs to give good germination rates. The brush cartridge, again, not so much for sweeping leaves. I'd use the Scarifier cartridge for that, but if I want to brush in top dressing, or if I've got worm casts, then I can use the brush cartridge, use the auxiliary wheel kit on the front so that the front roller doesn't smear the worm casts before the brush gets there. So that's a really nice cartridge for that. And then finally the aerator cartridge. Notice this doesn't have a drive on the side here because this one just rolls as the machine goes forward and just sinks the spikes into the ground. Not really deep aeration, but if you've got a really delicate thatch, sometimes it's a bit difficult to go in aggressively at the beginning, and this just pokes those little holes in to start to get the water and the moisture into the ground. So thanks ever so much for being with us here at the Allett lawn. It's been cold, we've been dodging hailstones all day, but we've got this video in the bag. So to recap about the Cambridge, if I can just take up a couple of more minutes of your time. This is a 17-inch or 43 centimetre battery driven mower using the Greenworks 40 volt system. It's a 6-bladed cylinder mower, and that's how you buy it, and you can buy it as a bundle with the charger and with the 40 volt 4 amp hour battery as well. The machine lays down amazing stripes. It's an Allett mower, that's what we do, and if that's what you desire, low cut lawn with great stripes, then this is a product that you definitely need to consider. The big thing is that we've got great deals of comfort on the handlebars. It's really easy and safe to use, but the rapid change cartridge system is a bit of a game changer for us in that we can change this cartridge now in about a minute if you're really quick. I just need to use my 5mm Allen key, remove 2 screws, and I can just change the cartridge over. There's no belts or anything like that I've got to disconnect. It's just 2 screws out, the next cartridge in. If you want a great lawn, cylinder mowing in itself will definitely be a big change to the way that your lawn grows. But if you want to take that to the next level, this machine gives you the opportunity to buy and insert the different cartridges that you need in order to give all-round lawn care just like the professionals do. And that's all in one machine. So thanks ever so much for your time, really appreciate it. If you need to know more, please visit www.allett.co.uk.